As the kingdom continues to propagate all over the world, blessings after blessings are being poured by the Almighty Father through His appointed Son. Today, let us witness some of the fruitful events that happen in the Kingdom Nation in the different kingdom-like congregations all over the world in this episode of Kingdom Victories and Updates. Let's watch this.
As the expansion of the Kingdom Nation in the southern part of California continues for the past 2 years, the blessings are unstoppable. Last August 4, the Kingdom-like congregation of San Diego celebrated their second anniversary. The Californian Sentinel of Light is one of the youngest in the United States of America, yet its growth has been persistent as characterized by the rising number of sons and daughters in the area. In lieu to the celebration, a special Thanksgiving and worship presentation was held. The Keepers Club International members from Los Angeles, North Hollywood, Orange County, Glendale, West Covina, San Bernardino, and San Diego gathered just before school starts, coming up with a variety of events including a 5-day music workshop, friendly sports and youth gatherings which aim to enhance their skills and establish stronger camaraderie. Another joyous event in the United States of America, this time in the islands of Hawaii, as repentant souls who have found enlightenment and salvation took their first act of faith in the recently held Special Kingdom Baptismal ceremony in the Aloha State. These souls were once lost, spiritually hungry and thirsty, but have found a new life through the fresh manna of revelations shared by the appointed Son. Meanwhile, Children's Joy Foundation Ambassador David Axel Manaday visited the KLC of Hawaii after his participation in the 24th World Scout Jamboree in North America, a prestigious event which happens once every 4 years. Also, the Kingdom-like congregation of Hawaii took a time off from their busy schedules as they participated in this year's summer camp held at Kapalama School Gymnasium, where they enjoyed a series of activities.
Aloha! From the Central Wall Headquarters! Thank you, Pastor! We love you!
The KLCs of Vancouver and Surrey in the Pacific region of Canada recently conducted their 11th Pacific Region Young and Adult Summer Camp held at Kwantlen Park Secondary Gymnasium. In the previous month, Kingdom members, Kingdom Youth, and Keepers Club International members coming from all over British Columbia, Canada, have been hard at work preparing and practicing for the annual summer camp and getting ready for their individual and team events. During the event, which started with the Grand Parade, each team competed in various competitions, including the power dance competition, music, literary, and sports events. They also spent some time together during the Thanksgiving and worship presentation in the KLC of Vancouver. After which an awarding ceremony took place, where the delegates celebrated the fruits of their hard labor. After the Young and Adult Summer Camp, a victory party followed, celebrating the goodness and the Almighty Father has poured out in the Pacific region. As the Kingdom-like congregation of Brazil celebrates its 5th year anniversary, the Thanksgiving continues as representatives from different Sentinels of Light in the South American nation visit Rio de Janeiro. The Brazilian seaside city is not just a famous tourist destination, but is also a progressive Sentinel of Light, where the Almighty Father's will is being enthroned. Sons and daughters continue to invade the territories of darkness in this part of South America, bringing forth the light through the manna of revelations, preached by the appointed and anointed Son of God, Pastor Apollo C. Quiboloy. The Kingdom-like congregation of Europe continues to flourish. Evident to this is the growing number of sons and daughters being born in the Eastern European country. It won't be long until the appointed son sets foot in the foreign kingdom territory, where he is scheduled to hold a concert crusade this September. In the United Arab Emirates, the young stewards and ambassadors of the kingdom recently gathered for a day of bowling. Some of the participants were young professionals who have decided to join the third quarter baptism in the advanced nation. A fellowship meeting was held with the young stewards and ambassadors of the kingdom, where they learned about the humble beginnings of the kingdom nation and the marvelous blessings that the Almighty Father has poured upon all his sons and daughters in these last days. The kingdom citizens in the Arab country are all excited and are gearing up for the appointed son's King is Coming tour in Dubai on September 20. Hundreds of Kingdom Miracle members participated in the event, representing their respective Kingdom Light congregations. During the opening ceremony in Kensei Sogu Koen in Ibaraki, the teams, which include Team Tokyo, Team Nagoya and Osaka, Team Saitama, Team Ibaraki, and Team Gunma, paraded gleefully, wearing their team colors, and the cheer dance competition then followed. The teams also battled it out. In Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, thousands of angels rejoiced as another batch of souls were ushered in the Kingdom Nation as they took their first act of faith through water baptism. These souls sealed their decision through their freedom of choice by signing into the covenant to the Almighty Father that from now on, not their human will but the Father's will be done in their lives through the appointed Son. During their Thanksgiving and worship presentation, the newly baptized Kingdom citizens were welcomed. Various events were also held, including seminars, meetings, and continuous free music lessons to Kingdom youths and Keepers Club members from Saito University. Still in Malaysia, the Kingdom-like congregations of Kuching continue to prosper. The special Thanksgiving and worship presentation in the Kingdom's very own worship compound overflowed as hungry souls gathered to feast on the fresh manna of revelations delivered by the appointed Son. They also held their pre-camp in preparation for their upcoming Young and Adult Camp 2019. Everyone is grateful to the Almighty Father for the chance to showcase their talents and to be used for His glory. Meanwhile, last August 6, 2019, they conducted their first leadership seminar attended by different coordinators and ministers coming from KLC of Cebu, KLC of Miri, KLC of Limbang, and KLC of Sabah. The Kingdom-like congregation of Singapore also had a fair share of victories. Recently, Kingdom Chief Administrator Sister Ingrid C. Canada and International Administrator Sister Tessie Dandan, along with Asia Pacific Administrator Sister Nelida Lizada, arrived in the Lion City of Asia. Highlighting their visit was the fellowship meeting where they imparted spiritual insights upon all the Kingdom's citizens. Meanwhile, Keepers Club International Singapore has opened another schedule for music lessons. Now, music lessons are not only conducted every Saturdays, but also every Wednesdays, in order to cater students who could not make it on weekends. Many walk-in visitors have joined the club. Some are Chinese, Indians, and Singaporean alike, and they do not only attend the music lessons, but are also regular visitors of the Thanksgiving and worship presentation. Another victorious event took place in Asia, this time in Cambodia. The Kingdom Light Congregation of Cambodia celebrated its 6th-year anniversary. The Asian country has been home to thousands of sons and daughters who have found true enlightenment and have received the message of salvation coming from the appointed Son. As its growth continues in the past 6 years, the Almighty Father's guidance and love never ceases and is manifested through His appointed Son. The celebration took place at the Function Hall of Cambodia Korean Corporation of the Royal University of Phnom Penh and was joined by hundreds of visitors coming from different cities and provinces in Cambodia. Some of them are professionals who hardly understand English. Moreover, members of Keepers Club International Cambodia who constantly joined the music lessons participated in the Kingdom Orchestra during the said event. Joining also in the Kingdom Choir, Orchestra, and accompanists are the newly trained Khmer young people who offered their talents to the Almighty Father through the Son. Meanwhile, the KCGS Cambodia kids also presented their special song before the event started. The words of the Father through the Son was translated in Khmer for those who cannot understand English. There was also a dinner fellowship joined by all full-time miracle workers. Parallel to this, the Jose Maria College International School in Cambodia, which started in 2015, recently celebrated their 4th-year anniversary. The kingdom's very own institution in Cambodia opened with only a few staff, but has now grown and never stops in providing consistent, quality education. Leadership in the Kingdom Nation is a high calling that every sons and daughters are expected to attain. With this, one-day leaders conference and fellowship among the leaders of the Kingdom Light Congregation of Thailand was held. The forum's main objective was to inculcate among them the value of true kingdom leadership, founded upon sacrifice, humility, loyalty, faithfulness, and dedication, producing the desired outcomes and results in the 3 pillars of kingdom revelation: souls, establishment of business, and harvest of talents. In addition, FTMWs of the KLC of Thailand had their outing together at the Nong Nooch tropical garden that is well known for its impressive, biggest, and most beautiful botanical gardens in Southeast Asia. Summing it all up, everyone is indeed looking forward to the upcoming King is Coming tour of the Appointed Son next year, 2020. Truly, the large nation of Thailand continues to shrink as the gospel of the kingdom continues to reverberate among the hearts and minds of Thai locals. In the Kingdom Light Congregation of Manado, Indonesia, the members of the spiritual household of the Father continues to prove their commitment and dedication to propagate the will of the Father as they incessantly usher more sons and daughters to the throne of righteousness. Last August 4, 2019, another batch of souls went through their first act of faith of water baptism held at Girian Indah Water Park, Bitong, North Sulawesi. Mixed nationalities were harvested in Indonesia, and there are even more eagerly waiting for the next schedule of baptism. With solid sons and daughters who are dedicated to bear much fruits, many have been enlightened by the message of the Son. In consonance with the people's work, which is related to fishing, now in the Father's kingdom they have become fishers of men. Indeed, no big challenge nor persecution can stop the work of the Father from penetrating the whole country of Indonesia. In South Luzon, another batch of souls heed the Almighty Father's calling by taking their first act of faith through water baptism. These souls are products of the Appointed Sons of Preaching, beamed live in Sunshine Media Network International and through social media. Truly, the harvest never stops as more sons and daughters are being born in the Spirit in the southern part of Luzon. Soon, they will become emissaries of the Appointed Son in spreading the message of enlightenment not only in the Philippines but all over the globe. The harvest continues in the Visayas region. Yesterday, thousands of repentant souls entered into the Ark of Salvation, taking their first step through water baptism. These souls have decided to leave their old lives behind and follow the appointed Son to live a life that is holy and acceptable to the Almighty Father. The newly baptized sons and daughters in the whole of Visayas are proof that despite the incessant display of sin and abomination happening all over the world, enlightenment will prevail and change is possible and can be found only through the appointed Son. In the Visayas region, the Keepers Club International members of Bohol recently conducted its team building activity, which was participated in by Kingdom Youths, different Keepers Club members from the different towns of Bohol Island. The participants were so thankful of the founding president, Pastor Apollo C. Quiboloy, for establishing Keepers Club International in Bohol and the spiritual enlightenment it has brought to their lives. Many of them have decided to be baptized in the upcoming mass baptism next week in the Visayas Islands. Part of every kingdom citizen's life is his or her spiritual growth that is truly unstoppable. Just recently, sons and daughters in northern Mindanao took another step forward in their spiritual journey as they took part in a moving up ceremony held in Macasandig, Cagayan de Oro City. Still in northern Mindanao, a pre-BS or Bible school session was conducted aiming to produce more productive leaders in the Kingdom Nation. In Davao City, another successful moving up ceremony was held in the kingdom's very own cathedral, participated in by sons and daughters all over Davao City. event was made even more special as no less than the appointed Son of God through a hookup message imparted words of wisdom to all the delegates, reminding them to strengthen their faith and prove that they are gold in the sight of the Almighty Father. Just recently, the Keepers Club organizers of the 1st District of Davao City conducted their first room-to-room and booth promotion at the Rizal Memorial Colleges. Hundreds of students flocked and registered themselves as Keepers members who wish to enhance their talents and skills not just in music but in leadership and management. Most of the new members were senior high school students who are more than willing to be part of all the Keepers implementation in various fields such as environmental protection and adaptation, mental health and anti-illegal drugs awareness, capability building, and most especially, spiritual and values formation inclined with the teachings of the club's founding president, Pastor Apollo C. Quiboloy. In addition, Mr. Amado Ancla, Office of Student Service and Affairs Director of the institution, is very positive and supportive with the club's vision and mission, providing an avenue for genuine family, brotherhood and sisterhood without afflicting violence among their students. Truly, this is just the beginning of this year's exponential growth and explosive harvest of talents and souls, not just for Keepers Club Rizal Memorial Colleges chapter, but as Keepers Club Davao City as a whole. Just recently, the Jose Maria Colleges basketball have brought home the championship titles in their respective tourneys. Jose Maria College's JMC Kings romped away with the championship title as it toppled down its opponent in the recent Mandug Intercollegiate basketball tournament. With this, Coach Flor Delito Cagampang has expressed his gratitude to Reverend Dr. Pastor Apollo C. Quiboloy for his unending support to the team. On the other hand, one of JMC's senior high school student Wellhart Hacosta and his group, who were among the Philippine delegation to the World Championship of Performing Arts that was held in Long Beach, California, also brought pride to the country. Among the 79 participating countries, the Philippines won in the hip-hop, open style, and contemporary dance categories, bringing home 1 silver and 2 gold medals. They were also declared as the senior grand champion dance group of the world. Jose Maria College indeed supports the endeavors of its students in whatever field they excel, honing them to be world-class J. Marians under the guiding principle of assured, consistent, and quality education, or ACQ education.
Lahat ng sumuporta from JMC family, and thank you sa lahat-lahat.
Christ brings you Powerline, your daily source of power from on high.
In addition, this week, the Appointed Sons program Powerline celebrated its 24th anniversary through a live telecast from the Covenant Mountain and Paradise Garden of Eden restored.
Magandang araw po sa inyo lahat.
Pilipinas, sabi po kayo maabot ng aking tinig, binabati po kayo sa araw ito. 24 years ago. Ang Powerline po ay nanatili sa on-air.
You have just seen the successful events that took place in the different kingdom-led congregations all over the world. Join us again next time for another episode of Kingdom Updates and Victories. May the Almighty Father's blessings be upon us all.